Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Today I want to quickly show you how to get your asparagus bed prepped for spring, give it the nutrients that it needs, get it into shape so that you have a good year of growing asparagus. The spears are going to come up right down the middle. They're going to start coming up later April and in May. March is a great time, today's March 12th, to prep the bed with fertilizers. I'm going to be putting down some more cardboard, mulch. I have a weed problem that showed up last year. This is the remains of cardboard I put down in the fall. Helps suppress some of the weeds, but I'm going to clean that up, put down some mulch right down the middle. Any organic granular fertilizer is going to be spread heavily across or down the row where my asparagus is. And then I'm going to put some compost across the top. I'm going to clean this up. I'll show you all the steps. Once everything is in place, the cardboard, the mulch, the organic granular, the compost, I'm going to water it in with a water-soluble fertilizer, and my asparagus bed is good to go. Please subscribe. I'll teach you how to grow an entire vegetable garden this year. Have some fun, save some money. I'm going to be cleaning up this space here. This is where I grow peppers every year, 2 peppers per pot. These are sunken containers, and if you follow me, I'll show you, how I set these up this year. I'm also trying to reach 750,000 subscribers, so if you could help me out and subscribe, that would be great. So you can see the remains of the asparagus coming up. I'm going to pull those out. I'm going to lay the cardboard down on both sides. You can just let the cardboard meet right where the asparagus comes up. Asparagus is strong enough to push through the cardboard. Putting down the mulch, and then we'll get started with adding the fertilizers. I cleaned up the old asparagus a little bit. Drop down a piece of cardboard so you can generally see what it looks like. The first thing you want to do is put down the organic granular fertilizer and then go ahead and drop the cardboard on top of that. If it is windy out, soak the cardboard down as you place it down and it won't blow out of place. When I'm done, I'll probably put some of the organic granular on the cardboard also. That will just actually help it break down and decay. Cardboard's great to use because the worms do enjoy it. It breaks down, it will actually feed the plants in this area, but it really works as a great weed barrier. I also like putting down shredded hardwood mulch. You'll see that. That also decays and breaks down and keeps feeding the asparagus year after year. But in the spring, we want to give it its vitamins. Any dry organic fertilizer works. This is a slow release. Most of your organic dry fertilizers are a slow release, meaning it needs microbes to break it down, release the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium into a form that the plants can use it. I recommend anything that's on sale. They're all basically the same ingredients. I like getting the larger bags because you save money, and I recommend trying to pay under $2 per pound. Organic fertilizers can get really expensive. This is, I think, a 20-pound bag. I actually got it on sale 2 or 3 years ago for $4 a bag from like $22. So I look for sales here in Maryland in the winter, and then I buy all my fertilizers during that time. Heavily drop it down. So here's where the asparagus is. Just want to give you an idea. So right down the row, I'm going to do something like that all the way down. And then on the outer sides, I'm just going to throw down a couple handfuls and get that organic granular around. That will feed the plant over the next couple of weeks and months. You're setting up the ground. The asparagus will love you for it. All the organic granular fertilizer is down. Just want to clarify, I'm using a 5-3-3 NP and K. You just want to make sure nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are represented. And again, most of the organic granulars are the same. A lot of times it's just basic chicken manure, dried, blood meal, bone meal, etc. Left a gap right down the middle. That's where the asparagus is going to come up. The flaps are right here too. I mean, the asparagus is going to be able to grow through this. I'm putting this down in time so that it's going to soften up and the asparagus spears will just poke through there. After you harvest some of your asparagus, you leave some of them to grow through the season. That's what this wire is for. The asparagus spear, maybe 12 inches when you harvest it. If you let the plant grow, it's going to get 4 or 5 feet tall. So I weave it through this wire, keeps the asparagus in place over the season. You have to let it fern out and grow over the summer so that the energy goes back into the roots, and then the next year you're going to get more asparagus spears. You don't keep harvesting it. You got to harvest for, I don't know, so from like here, maybe end of April into the middle of May, but then you let the rest of it just grow through the season. Next thing you want to do, again, just to be clear, wet this down if it's windy, but also wet it down before you put the mulch down. You want to soak this down. That will help it get ready to be broken down by worms, microbes, all that kind of stuff. And when you put the mulch on it, it's going to press against the ground and form on the ground. Once this is soaked, I'm going to scatter some more organic granular on there. That will help speed up the process for it to decompose. All right, let me do that and we'll move along. Cardboard is soaked down, again leaving the gap down the middle. The last thing I'm going to do is put the compost down right down the middle. Take a handful of your organic granular fertilizer and just scatter it across the cardboard. Again, that's going to help this decompose. It's going to feed the plants. I really like this setup, and this is how I've been doing this space here. This is going on its 5th year. All right, I think this space is shaping up nicely. Mulch is down. I like using shredded hardwood. I find that decays a little bit more quickly than bigger wood chips. Going to spread this out again on the cardboard. I'll leave the gap down the middle, and then we'll put down the compost. I also cleaned up the container pepper area. Again, if you want to subscribe, I put 2 plants in each of these containers. That's like 26 plants in that small space. The mulch is down. Make sure you soak it in. That will get the cardboard, moist basically. It'll stay damp, it'll stay wet, it'll break down more quickly. If you're on a budget, you don't have to put down cardboard in mulch all the time. It can be a little bit expensive. You would just do the organic granular fertilizer. I'm going to put 1 to 2 inches of the compost down the middle, water it in with the water soluble fertilizer, and those are the 3 things you would do. Organic granular, compost, water soluble, and that will be good enough for your asparagus patch to take off for the 2024 season. The compost is down. I recommend 2 to 3 inches if you have enough to do that. Wood mulch about 1 to 2 inches. And I have a nice straight line. Compost is down. Last thing I want to show you is the quantity of water soluble fertilizer to put down. I recommend Agro Thrive. That's what I use now. You can find that in the video description. It has a sweet malty scent to it, not like fish emulsion. And I can't use fish emulsion anymore because my dog will actually come into the garden and eat wherever I put the fish emulsion down. Agro Thrive is organic, and you just want to soak the row, something like that. Right down the center. On the outside, a quick splash is great. You're going to need several gallons depending on how long your row is, but that'll soak in. Your asparagus is set up for the spring. It has plenty of fertilizer for summer. It's going to recharge itself. And again, you can just get by with the organic granular, compost, water soluble every year. That's all your asparagus really needs. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. Please subscribe. I will teach you how to grow food, have fun, and in fact, I'll show you how to plant up this entire garden. Thanks for watching.